Good morning and welcome to the channel. We are out here with our goats today, and we have our fairly new, about 60 hours on it. Bought it from new though, LS tractor here. I'm going to turn you guys around here so we can see. We have the LS MT352. This is a hydrostatic cab model. This one comes with the LL4001 loader, and that loader does have an increased lift capacity at the pins up to 2,998 pounds. There's a few other modifications we've done to it. We'll get into those in just a few moments, but first we're going to go get these guys a little bit of food. So one of the things I get a question about quite often is the width of this tractor. And if you'll notice the stance of this tractor, if you know how wide the factory or the stock edition is, you'll notice that this tractor is a good bit wider. So what we have done is we have added the 4-inch Bro-Tek wheel spacers. Now these are a product that comes out of Canada. Bro-Tek is, I believe, one of the only officially approved wheel spacers. They're approved by Kubota, so they're an approved Kubota product. But these are 4-inch aluminum wheel spacers, and they are made specifically for this application by Bro-Tek for this exact tractor. And that has given us a overall width of, or additional width of 8 inches, putting that outside tire to outside tire right at 79 inches. So as it comes, it's about 71 inches wide factory, and we've added that 8 inches to it. Now, you know, of course, we've also added the light bar in the back. I get a lot of questions about that. That light bar actually came off of Amazon, but it bolts right up to the original pod light brackets. And then we have the actual connectors that we ordered. I'll link these in the description if you guys are interested in ordering those. But the light bar, I'll show you the one on the front in a moment as well. The light bar on the front and the rear is the exact same light bar. They bolt in the exact same way, and these connectors plug into your factory connections. As you can see, where one of the pod lights were right here, we need to tie that guy up, but that is the factory connection. And then once you add the female side of that to your light whip, you can plug it straight in. What else have we done on the rear here? We do have the hydraulic top link. This is a Kingway hydraulic top link. So far, this thing's been flawless. The only downside I will say is that you do, when you were first hooking up an implement, if you're not using a quick hitch, obviously, you're going to need to access your rear remote up here to move the cylinder in and out. No one ever talks about this, actually. A lot of people talk about this 3-point remote lever right here, and this is absolutely fantastic to have. You can be outside the tractor hooking up an implement. You can, if the tractor is running, you can actually raise this. But of course, you know, as it stands right now, you know, I can reach in, I can lower it, and it'll start to drop that 3-point. But something that's never spoken of is, as much and as handy as this right here is, no one ever talks about how you have to reach into the cab to adjust the hydraulic top link. Now, once the hydraulic top link is on your implement, of course, it's going to be super handy. You can adjust your tilt. Say that you are, you know, I use it with my brush cutter, we'll say. When I'm using a brush mulcher on the back, sometimes I need to tilt it forward or backwards depending on the terrain that I'm in. I'm able to do that fairly easy. But just be aware that you will need to access the inside. Now, for this particular tractor model, I can open this back window and I can reach them from the outside while the tractor's running. So that hasn't been too much of an issue, but it is something to definitely think about if you are looking to get that hydraulic top link and you're expecting it to be a flawless operation. It does have, you know, a very small downside to it. If we move around to the front of the tractor, you'll see this tractor comes standard with a 72-inch bucket, and it is every bit of 72 inches. I measured it. It's a large bucket. It does suit the stance of the tractor, and some people would prefer a little bit smaller bucket, maybe a 60-inch bucket on this. I like the 72-inch bucket. I think for what we do here on the farm, it provides a lot of space should you be out and need to haul something. So it works for us. It's been great. This, as I'd kind of mentioned before, this tractor comes with the LL4001. I believe that's the loader that comes on all of these models going forward as of 2025. And this loader has a lifting capability at the pins of 2,998 pounds, which is fairly significant for a 3 Series tractor. Now, this is a 52 horsepower tractor, so it has plenty of power. We've not struggled for power in any way, and it has been a flawless, fantastic tractor so far. No mechanical issues to report whatsoever, and we're on about 64 hours now. Literally, we've had this tractor for 2 months, so we've been working it pretty hard to put 64 hours on it in 2 months. So as we walk up to the loader here, something else you'll notice is that we do have the third function on the front. That is a WR long third function. And what we did was the dealership that I purchased from installed the third function. Now, I went back and I put the canvas sleeve over it and then kind of attached it and ran it along the same route as the existing hydraulic lines. As you can see right here, it runs all the way back. And then of course it comes down. And like I said, I sleeved that all the way, and it's going to come down until it gets to this third function valve. Now, like I said, this is an aftermarket third function valve. This comes from WR Long. I was a little worried about the location of this valve originally. However, it's behind the step that is on what you would call the passenger side of a vehicle. And in these tractors, this is really used for nothing more than just either accessing your controls if you need to be adjusting something on the loader from the outside and you don't feel like getting all the way up in there, you just need to step up and make a slight adjustment. Or I use it sometimes to come out and reach in and be able to crank and warm the tractor up in the morning because, of course, the ignition is right there. Let's see if I can get that to focus. But really, more than anything, this door is here as an emergency exit. I believe that at least that's what they probably put it here for. So I'm glad that it has it. It's easy to talk to someone if they're outside the tractor and they walk up and need to communicate with you. But so that has not been an issue having that valve there, and I don't foresee it ever becoming an issue whatsoever. Now, this tractor, I went ahead and had Rim Guard Solutions install the Rim Guard upon purchase. So the dealer installed the Rim Guard, and I did double check it. It is beet juice that's inside there, and that's going to add about 623 pounds to each tire in this instance. So I think that comes out to be, I don't know, about 57 gallons per tire. So that added our weight and added our ballast weight up, you know, a little over 1,200 additional pounds. And that has been fantastic. This thing is well grounded, especially considering we have an 8-inch wider stance with those Bro-Tek 4-inch spacers. I'll link all of this stuff in the description so you guys will have a better reference point. So that's our exterior somewhat review of this tractor. I'll do an in-depth interior review as well. I'm gonna get her cleaned up a little bit more. She's got a little dirt on her. She's been working pretty hard. But we actually use this tractor in our commercial business, and that's what it was purchased for. So if you guys wanna follow along with us, this thing will be used in a business atmosphere consistently. And we'll be documenting all that as we go along. This is something that I know a lot of influencers will use these tractors on their farm and they'll document all of it, but I've not seen anyone that uses it regularly for a business. And, you know, I see the New Hollands, you know, the DOT uses, we see the Kubotas that most of the county services use around here. And I don't see anyone using LS tractors, and hopefully we can change that. As this is a growing company, I think they're doing great things in the market. They're providing extremely stout and very, very quality tractors. They've been doing this for a very long time, and this isn't a new company. So, so far we've had nothing but great success out of our MT352. I just wanted to step in here real quick and say thank you for stopping by the channel. If you like the content you see today, give it a like, consider subscribing. We'd really appreciate it, and it would help our channel greatly.